the times with just pure shoving lanes.
We don't have time to talk once again. Huatien gets binded down the matchup, working well there. Haro coming to the bot side, but binded. Mako can play precariously here, and Eyeboy getting free mana back. You talked about how this lane sucks for Rogue Warriors. Well, you're right, Clement.
It really isn't good. And they decided to ban the Fiora instead of the Lux, but they still didn't put Aatrox top lane. So I'm a little bit curious about that decision. And so far that you will see EDG spot lane start to slow down a little bit. Like we were talking about, vertical jungle does not actually fit their purposes whatsoever. They can't fight around here with Aatrox near.
That's right. So there is some positive here to Rogue Warriors that Haro can try and impact that lane and get somewhere, but the ability for the Sivir and the Lux to play safe is being shown here. The wave getting pushed in. Wuji and Kahlua just trying to stack up some of the Klepto, some of the extra gold here from Spell Thieves, and that's the way it goes. Well, Haro can't get in. The rest of the map going favorably here for JJ, who's already invading. Look at this unique pathing. He got one scuttle, or rather missed it, and has gone against what Haro thought he was going to do.
Yeah, this is not a fight that Haro can win at this point. Early game, just with the Berserker passive, he's so damn deadly, that Olaf. However, they do have their bot lane in position. They are missing one summoner though, so this is a fight that's going to be very, very close.
At the end of the day, triple buff for JJ. So he hasn't picked up top side scuttle. He's made the path directly there. Enemy blue, his red, straight to his own blue, and now he's going to keep on clearing away. So advantage for EDG through the jungle at 3 minutes 50.
Oh, and what is Haro going to do now? There's nothing in the top side for him to really take. It's going to be a tough time. Well, you can see JJ still having those two camps on the map left. He's going to be able to transition towards top side quite easily.
Is a good read from Haro, though, to say that. Picks up the top side scuttle, so at least he's not getting blown out of the waters on all accounts. We'll be able to give some of that vision. Does turn the map upside down from where we started, and might enable him to get towards Jinnu and get the map rolling for Rogue Warriors.
Okay, a vision advantage for Rogue Warriors. They do spot out JJ going over and take up the Raptor camps.
Yep.
So he's going to continue his farming position. However, this should stop Rogue Warriors bot lane from continuing to aggress on that side. You can see them backing out right now.
That's true. It was a small lead there for Wuji. What you're looking at on the bottom of your screen is that the POV will be on Scout, who this game already has a pretty good matchup into Huatien.
Yeah, he already forced him back to base once, just at level 2.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, that's how bad the matchup is going currently. And you can see that early corrupting potion from LeBlanc, just using those auto attacks to maximum efficiency.
Yeah, Darksteel alongside it as well. So it's actually Darksteel for both mid laners, but
snowball matchup.
Yep. And a 10 CS lead already. There's a small CS lead in the top lane. Jungle is huge at the moment. Once again, we're seeing Olaf run out of control here in the LPL. Bottom lane is the only disadvantage, but that'll shore up with now things going back to normal. And JJ in his own jungle, now going to find himself in the middle of some vision.
I will say I'm very impressed by the way Rogue Warriors has been warding up the entirety of the map. Like, JJ has been spotted multiple times just going through his own jungle. So if they continue to do this, they will be able to, just keep EDG in place. And this is a composition where if they can find the pick, it's so easy to then just snowball into a sieging comp.
Hang on, Clement. I know it's taking your breath away. What were you going to say?
Oh, that was about it.
Okay, thank you so much.
I just need to transition
your
out.
sentence. Huatien, I know it also took your breath, that the fact that this mid lane matchup is going exactly as we expected. JJ walks to the bottom side, and you're right about vision. Spotting him out is great from Rogue Warriors, but only if they can get something. And in the top lane, Haro's preparing to try and get that little something. That's onto Jinnu. He's nearby and level 4.
Yeah, this is a I have nothing better to do type of gank.
Yep. Jinnu, be careful. Oh, pop there from Holder. He comes in, falls the flash. Decimating smash. He spears him for 1. First blood, a patient gank from Haro.
Somebody give this man an Academy Award. That was great acting from Holder. That was not a gank that is supposed to work most of the time. It was a gank where Haro was like, you know what, I got nothing on my top side. I might as well just back here.
Back and back here, and JJ gets nothing from the bottom side, even shows his face.
Really well sold. And if you guys don't know, Yuumi can teleport around with the Ezreal, come straight back to lane. That's what's going to happen right now.
Only one bit of turret plating, so Clement, I look at Rogue Warriors and I say, hey, that start where you're almost behind 1k gold lead, that's different. JJ even going to get poked out here. This is an issue. Wuji still hitting him down, but course, the Olaf will sustain it away, so he's out safely. And a dragon for first blood. It was only a cloud. So, again, Rogue Warriors, welcome. Welcome to game 1.
Yep. Still a small lead on EDG's side, winning over the CS, especially in the mid lane. I guess they have top lane Kleptomancy as well. But the bot lane isn't going as well for EDG as we expected. Was pushed in from the early game.
He's dodged everything. Wuji and Kahlua just kiked it around the Boomerang Blade, Ricochet, as well as the Light Binding. And net win again for the trade of Wuji and Kahlua.
Yeah, and this is a pathing decision that is rather... it's a bit more mid-game focused than what we usually see. A lot of times when you have someone pushing in on your tower and looking to take it early, we do see the Ezreal just straight go for the Manamune to at least hold the lane open. But he's still willing to go for the tier stack.
Super aggressive to see the Sheen as well. Waiting for that Boomerang Blade. Hello. Okay. So that's what happens when Boomerang Blade lands and the combination from Mako comes through. And that's why we talked about this lane not being as good for Wuji and Kahlua, who, with the Scout roaming down.
Yes, this is what we have to pay attention to, because when you have 2 lanes with priority and you're on red side pushing in, what happens is you can shove the bot lane in and the bot lane can't rotate to red. They have to take a very long route around and it becomes very easy to fight them near. However, you do see Rogue Warriors actually looping around and following this path very, very well. So Haro, I believe he is spotted, but he's at least clearing that side of his own jungle out.
JJ's picking up the blue buff, giving it over to Scout, and while his control ward will spot Haro out, an even better control ward over by the red buff there spots the rotation. So deep vision here, paying off for EDG as the gold lead's still there for them. 9 minutes in, Scout picks up a blue buff, walks over vision himself.
Yeah, they really need to start clearing that one. So as long as Uji and Kahlua can keep the minion wave about at that location, they should be fine. If you keep it there, then you can rotate faster than the red side. Scout, you need to be careful.
That was a mistake by Scout, I believe. Ran back to the distortion when he got the favorable trade. And even better trade there from Hwatian to send it right back. So although you pointed out the CS mid lead in the mid lane for him, Hwatian has the shove. He has Haro nearby, who has yet to be spotted.
Should be fairly difficult just to nail down LeBlanc.
As always. Heading towards the bottom side though, so with the shove in the mid lane, able to roam back out, get some of this deeper vision that we talked about. And there's defensive vision line already set up here by Rogue Warriors. Haro doesn't have a ward in inventory. He's only got, no, he's actually got nothing. So just pops his head into the enemy jungle while JJ's got other plans.
Yeah, and this is a situation where I feel like JJ should still have control over this side. If you look at his jungle items, he has his warriors completely finished, so should be able to win out on the duel if it does happen. And he's actually very far ahead in his CS lead.
Scout gonna get double blue?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Extend that timer.
Very interesting start from EDG. You actually rarely see this type of 2-man invade onto the blue side anymore.
Also because JJ has warriors, so feels confident that he can take the 1v1 against Haro, even with the World Ender available now.
Oh, wow.
And that's a big lead as top lane does become bottom lane. Wuji and Kahlua have rotated up here, Haro with them as well. So quick rotation here from Rogue Warriors, despite that top lane being in a deficit.
Yeah, so when you see a rotation like this, you know situations are dire because they don't have priority in either lane before they did it.
Oh, final chapter onto Jinnu, so maybe they don't, but maybe they can find something here. Wuji underneath, turret takes one. Two-shot barrage not available. Jinnu gets out with his life, but the rest of EDG have made the trade. And remember, these rotations as well, we talk about how Rift Herald comes into play.
Yeah, whenever Drake's down, everyone's heading towards the top side to fight over that last remaining objective on the map. However, EDG did swap a little bit later than Rogue Warriors, so even when they didn't have priority, it does seem like they are just giving up on the bot side.
But it's so hard when each and every lane seems to be in a good place for EDG. Iboy not caught out, but it is Mako in the end who flashes away, locks down the ultimate in Aatrox. Haro at half health, bit of ricocheting blade comes through, the final spark onto him as well. His ult's going to come through, a flash undertow as teleport's coming in. Scout flashes over the back, ingenious pathing. He can't find the burst, but Mako can. EDG up their first kill of the game. They lock down the Sion who TP'd in, but not to die. What great pathing there from Scout.
Yeah, that was a very ingenious idea and great last E coming in from Mako as well. The Luminescence finding the last tick onto the target.
Oh no, Yumi's caught out without the partner. Eventually ult comes in, best bait, they flash into a double, and they flash into the True Shot Barrage. Rogue Warriors make an even better play.
And guess what? Holder never left. Hey!
And he baited yet another play, or rather this time it looked like Kahlua did it.
Yeah, that was pretty fun to watch. Nobody expects Asana to stay around that long in this matchup. So interesting enough, EDG actually pulled all of their resources into the top lane to try and find that kill. They don't really get any. They get one, but what they trade back was definitely not worth it. And look at Zhang Wuji right now. I'm not sure that Sivir can still push freely in that lane. Uh-oh, Haro.
Haro doesn't have an ultimate. Trouble Bubble lands on where the distortion was. Cleanse burnt. Key Summoner down for the LeBlanc mid. That was great from Hua Tien. He is down CS in his own lane, but at least you get windows where you can. For EDG, still a big gold lead here in this game, and despite that small play, other lanes going awry, even that topsiders. We'll just take our eyes off that. We'll look at this bait from the Yuumi.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. And I know
Holder,
they flashed into it, but it was great.
Yeah, Holder was even standing on a ward. They just didn't expect him to start from like 0 to 60 in 3. That was...
You see the Yuumi and you're like, I kill her in 1 second. That's all it takes. Yeah, it took a little bit longer that time. So, with the bait in mind, with the double kill now going to the Ezreal, Wuji in a very good state in this game. That's 1 Q. Bit of E damage as well. So he's starting to poke out. With Kahlua by his side, he's just absorbing this top lane wave. And Iceborne already completed. Manamune coming very, very shortly. So a more defensive build path against a team that is relying on the 80 damage from the Olaf from the Sivir.
Yeah, was a Glacial Rush in the end, just to have extra wave clear on that lane. So that explains kind of the early itemization here.
Ginger doing this full vision, by the way, as the ult gets him at half health. Maker gets locked on down. That's an easy kill. Ginger caught out of position. Rogue Warriors get another double, this time over to Haro. And things going from bad to worse as we're getting some Fed members on RW.
They did not expect the amount of damage coming in from Rogue Warriors. Zhang Wuji just showed them who's boss. And that amount of crowd control going down. EDG, they were a bit lax on that one. The number one mistake I felt like they made was they didn't actually clear out the vision in that Herald Pit whatsoever.
And it's starting to get to the point where it doesn't matter that all these lanes found their way ahead. Rogue Warriors being more proactive, getting some of these bigger picks, and Haro's now fed. Wuji in a great position. They're going to give him the turret gold in the top side alongside with what seems to be this Aatrox.
Yeah, Mako low plays happening over and over again. Just twice that he's being caught out so far. And despite what I believe was a better setting for EDG early game, Rogue Warriors had great defensive vision, and they were able to just outplay EDG whenever they overstayed.
Now, having said that, EDG still get first turret, so they're still in a gold lead, but this Rift Herald charging towards the next turret. But iBoy, don't let it happen. Wait for it. There you go. Show your wings. iBoy picks up the gold. Still, I was mentioning the kills before, but gold leads in individual lanes. It's going to take a little bit more than that from Rogue Warriors, but I like the direction that came off the back of this vision play.
So if you look at this, Jijit actually still has his scanner, doesn't bother to sweep this one out, and just the 3-man versus 2-man play is way too much to deal with. I love how Uji starts the True Shot Barrage within his own control ward, so it's never spotted, and he gets the 2-piece on that as well.
Oh, what the end? Found himself a Karma. Good block from iBoy, and Jinnu would have been dead. So iBoy is a true Chinese hero.
iBoy, best boy.
The only boy.
Yes.
Wuji, right on the money with that. You can see better communication in this series from Rogue Warriors too, Clement.
And this is what we were talking about. Don't look down at Rogue Warriors because they haven't won a game yet. They've actually had great early games.
It's showing again, but now it's the transition towards the mid game because Infernal's coming up. This is when we see a lot more of our skirmishes, and whose composition is best for skirmishes? Well, you'd argue for both, but at this point, when you have an Olaf, when you have yourself a LeBlanc, a Karma, there's a lot of versatility in EDG.
The issue with EDG's composition is that they're going to have a very hard time chasing down the Rogue Warriors. Unless Zhang Wuji actually steps into a light binding,
very true,
they can't chase him down whatsoever. It's going to be so difficult. This is a very strong poke composition. They don't need to be on the objectives first. They can start poking away, chipping away at you, and they also have map control and priority at this point. So it's becoming very difficult for EDG to play this one out correctly, and that's what I was talking about, light binding.
Yeah, into Hua Tien, he flashes away, only just survives. Thank you, Zoomies. But Hua Tien now with no summoners, and like you said, one pick here from EDG turns it right.
Well, I guess if you throw enough light bindings, you're going to find one anyway.
That's
so I always feel like light binding isn't a strong form of engage, but players keep on proving me wrong.
But when you land it, yes, it is Clement, you know.
It's a very slow projectile.
But not if you can't see it. Half the time's out the window. Holder and Wuji going to try and prove that in a second. Undertow goes just as fast. Wuji almost takes himself a little bit of sigil. And with that poke down, Wuji gets low. Rogue Warriors lose the confidence, and EDG have started clearing out the vision. The Infernal Dragon looks to be theirs. Will Rogue Warriors challenge?
It's going to depend on the angle that they're coming in. I think Zoe's a little bit too far back. They can chase for priority in mid lane, but I don't think they want to take the fight.
Oh, on the hunt's been propped. EDG coming in some weird pathing. The Found Holder is clearing out some vision, but will they be able to land him down? The light binding connects again. Holder takes so long to die, though, with the adaptive helmet over the wall. GG always smacks Watien, but takes more damage himself. But EDG get out of there unscathed, and even more so Holder does too.
A lot of abilities used right there, but no kills. I like how Rogue Warriors played that. They just used Sion as a meat shield to close off the corridor on the top side. Give them a little bit more time on the mid lane tower, and they got a couple of hits off, and that's all you really need. You have that Sheen, Iceborne Gauntlet.
Oh, flash there from Scout. Wuji burns one himself. Now that's what you're talking about. If you like LeBlanc, that's what she does best. Here we go, though. That's an ulti from Sion. Is he going to make it in time? EDG like, hang on, he's coming up mid, isn't he? They find out. But it is early enough. Holder doesn't reach the mark.
Yeah, it was a bit of a scare coming in from Holder. Started his ignition early.
He had to.
So I think what you're going to see happening is just compare Jinu's build path. This is much more of a side lane Jinu Karma play than what we've seen previously from Flandre. So his idea is he actually needs to stay here and keep this Sion shoved in. This is a team where they need big areas around the map where they can use their extra mobility from Sivir to actually close in on targets and get that uneven number team fight. So the build path really reflects the need for a split pushing option on EDG. They don't want to sit underneath this tower the entire time and try to face off on Uji, who's already this fed.
And I've noticed a lot in regions like LEC, LCS, we see a lot of this build path of Luden's Echo first into something like the Arden or the Athene's Unholy Grails. So second item, the Aether Wisp, of course that goes into Lichbane, but that also goes into Arden Sensors. So expect to see that as a second item now for Jinu, as EDG are going to find themselves a little fight. It's Haro who's going to have to pop the ultimate soon, but will it do anything? Light Binding connects! Haro's dead! Hiya!
Those a little bit tragic for Haro.
See that? How many times does Mako land his ult? 100% down the bottom. EDG jumping in for the fight. They can't find the cat book. Instead, it's onto Wuji as Huatien gets reattached to with the help of Kahlua. It's two members dead. Scout, that's a fake one. Trouble Bubble lands onto Jinu, but how are you going to follow that up? Huatien pulls himself into more danger. Rogue Warriors down the man advantage, and soon this turret will be down as well.
Rogue Warriors being way too ambitious. Haro trying to start the fight with Scout himself, and then you see Zanwuji Ian with no flash on hand. What did you expect was going to happen?
And this is why we fear things like Scouts, LeBlanc, and iBoy, of course, on the Sivir is wreaking havoc, but Mako is smacking with this Lux pick.
Yes, it's their only form of stable engage, and they've been
like this. Who did you lock down? Holder, and Huatien almost died in the process as well.
Maybe EDG don't need engage.
Maybe they don't, Clement. They made a believer out of you. They're 3K gold up, and what you talked about was Rogue Warriors' early game, and that's true. It's great. But then you get to the mid game, and I asked, how would it transition? Right now, not well.
Yeah, they're being a little bit too impatient on getting these pokes off. Now, this is a Scout POV. Dodges out of everything.
Oh, and
we just come back.
And we will never do that again. Well, I apologize for that. What can you get out of that? Scout likes to go in. Correct.
To be fair, Haro started that.
Love how we're promoting POV. It's probably not like that. It's a little better. Have you seen the POV stream yet?
Oh, yeah. I watched a lot of them. Very educational.
Yeah?
Yeah, about positioning, timings. You really realize how tight professional players play these games. I think it's the same with pro views as well. A lot of their backs are just like straight on the money, 0 gold left in the bank, use everything you got. And SOFM's particularly is very interesting. Like, he's unique even among professional junglers for his pathing and stuff.
That's true. I know you were talking about that before because he's just got this unique mentality, unique way of life in League of Legends as well. So This time it is Scout on the point of view stream over on Doyu, if you feel interested in checking that one out. But Scout almost towards his second item here, and the LeBlanc's starting to already do enough damage as is. But now I'm focused on iBoy, who has the Infinity Edge. It's the 2-item power build here on AD carries, and iBoy clearing these waves instantly, and now holding a candle to Wuji once again.
Yeah, so Rogue Warriors, all they need to do is just play this safely. If they can continue to just like try and poke out EDG, they should be able to hold down this mid lane for a very long time.
We'll see. Mako almost gets one of those light bindings again, Clement. Kahlua by himself, risky, but he knows the light binding's down, jumps back to Wuji, jumps back to Haro, and contesting this Ocean Dragon next on the menu. Holder's in a bad position here. Might have to ulti to get himself out, but which does he run into? It's this one they jump on anyway. Scout has found Wuji, almost destroys him. League of Legends, not a game he gets to play this time around. And with the AD carry that down low, Dragon now, theirs.
Oh my god. This is actually ridiculous from a Scout.
Yeah. What did you expect? He gets one of his best picks.
It's super ballsy because, you know, there's always right next to him. And he's
you
like...
think he cares?
Probably not.
How hard, like, this is why it's such a good matchup. How hard is it to land the trouble bubble? You gotta predict, or you gotta put it on top of where the distortion went. And EDG, after getting that double Ocean, they run it up the mid lane in a very good way. Holder used his ult before, so the flank makes it even harder.
Yeah, EDG are just winning out so hard on the skill shot war. Like, they've been finding the chains, they've been finding the light bindings, and Holder has been using his ultimate on nothing most of the time.
He has an adaptive helm, and it did that much damage. So, Scout heading with a blasting one somewhere else. Mako gets burned out, but White's in a bad position once again. Cleanses over the wall. Scout gets him anyway and chunks him down. Rogue Warriors sticking around the mid lane. We're just 5v5ing. Screw the side lane. Let's keep going as Scout slowed down by Holder, but no further follow-up.
This starts to feel like an ARAM for you.
It has been an ARAM for about 5 minutes,
Yeah.
I feel.
Both of these team compositions are very, very poke-heavy.
But if we look at who wants to stay in that 5v5, well, it's EDG right now as they lock down the tank once again into the Ragnarok. They want to just kill Holder before it begins. They find him. Scout jumps in first. Clone takes up some of the damage and he survives. But now in another 4v5.
And this is one that's going to get very close. Watian finds the Sleepy Trouble Bubble, but good side blocking from the rest of the team. These double Oceans are really so good for EDG.
I take it back. It's a Spellbinder on Jinnu. So this time, we're not even going defensive. Jinnu doesn't get pulled back by the Infernal Chains. And although his shield's not doing much, his Qs are like a nuke. I thought,
that's
the
first time we've seen that on Karma.
I was like, Aether Wisp, Lich Bane, Ardent Sensor, and then I'm like, hang on, there's one more item. But nah, it's not Spellbinder.
You know what he's getting that for?
To go fast?
Yes, he's going to run straight into Uji's face and leash him down like a dog.
He is almost 50 CS above the sign. Now, that's to be expected. But the fact that he's 200 CS in a game that's been so bloodthirsty is great. Mind you, the bottom lane in iBoy is 267 CS at 25 minutes. So he's on track. And if we're just talking about CS, he wins the game. Or the battle, rather.
I felt Rogue Warriors had a great opportunity in the early game. They had everything set up. They actually found towers. There was a lead on Uji. And then when it came to the poke war, Scout just outplayed the entire team.
Yes.
Like, he was in and out. He forced... How many times did he force Zhang out of the mid lane?
At least 3.
There was no poke for them to actually give. Like, Zhang had a great start. He had sustain as well, but couldn't find the damage onto the enemy team.
And then it comes down to the point where Rogue Warriors just can't withstand it any much longer. And EDG move to the side lanes. They clean up those outer turrets. And now with all of them broken, Baron is a wide plethora of vision for EDG, but Rogue Warriors have to push into contest.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for them. They have a lot of abilities where they can always check the pit, so they shouldn't be caught out by any means. But there's going to come a time where EDG is going to hold on to that control for long enough where their damage just scales to the point they can instantly take it. I think that's what's going to happen right now. You're not going to see EDG try all that much, just rush straight for the Baron, and still they'll try to zone and poke. For Rogue Warriors, they'll just keep on checking, and this is going to go on for another few minutes.
Oh my god. Yeah, put a ward down. You won't see Scout until it's too late. He sends a Sigil of Malice out once again. On the hunt's been popped here by iBoy. They just really want to fight, and Huatien key to sorting out those engages, but Holder with Yuumi on his back, still just zoned away, and EDG have cleared everything apart from that one ward.
Yeah, this is not a composition where EDG can reliably expect a catch to happen. There's too much checking going around.
Hard to find someone when Scout is just over every wall at every turn. Holder poked down a little bit, but he's taking enough. Popsy onslaught now goes into the Olaf, though, who denies it. They find the final spark. Holder drops first, and iBoy picks up the kill. More bank in the pocket as the True Shot Barrage nicks Jinu's little pinky toe. Rogue Warriors lose another member, Clement.
I don't understand that engage at all. You can see his entire team. No one was willing to follow up on that.
EDG can head towards the Baron. They can pick up a Scuttle. You do you. Because at this point, with a 5k gold lead, with Scout having a party in the mid lane, doing whatever he wants, and Jinu with his full Nuke Karma build, it's hard for Rogue Warriors to get towards this.
All right, Uji, you've done this once before. Can you find it? Oh,
never
never
mind.
mind.
But Scout's in the back line. Haro can't get the reset. What DN as well. Scout goes in for the double sandwich. He wants the chicken schnitty. Let's go for it. EDG pick up another 2. And Clement, this doesn't stop because EDG are out for blood.
They definitely are, and that was insane damage coming in from Scout. Just popping him over the wall, flash follow-up to finish the sigil, and insta-kill. Like, I was hoping Zhang was going to pull off one of those miracle plays like he did against RNG. Get the Penta, get the Baron steal. But none of that happened.
Believe all you want, the Blade of the Ruin King Azrael is nothing in the face of people like Scout, Jeje, Jinu. Like, everyone from EDG is in a comfortable position. One small steal from Holder there doesn't make up for the fact that EDG picked up Baron, picked up the fight, have 4 elementals with the 5th one on the menu.
It just feels like EDG did a skill check in the mid lane and found that they were the better ARAM team and just closed it out after that one.
Hey,
so we're seeing the Scout again. Gets the Haro kill.
Killer was like, thank God I didn't die.
Yeah, that was a flash W. Very hard to see the animation
Man,
when he's coming
plays
over.
with massive HUD, by the way. Like, that is like 100%.
Hey, you got to see the minimap.
No, yeah, the minimap I get, but seeing your abilities like up in your face, like, what does my Q do? Scout,
it's about
of course.
the cooldown. It's about the cooldown.
Yeah, no, it's very true. He knows exactly what he does. He knows what the 2-item LeBlanc's going to do in this future fight. And Fiendish Codex blasting one. A lot of CDR now on the LeBlanc. And level 15 Scout is roaming for more blood with Jinu, who has a Void Staff. This is what you love to see. The top laner who we knew was confident going into this matchup, pick up what is now I've coined Nuke Karma.
This is the best ARAM team you could possibly get. There's so much poke on this team. It's actually insane. Everyone building full damage. They're converging at this point. And even if Rogue Warriors land something, they can't kill anyone. It's Ocean Drake, so you can just rotate one person off. It's going to take a full-on engage, and we need to see Holder's ult actually do something.
Yeah, and then followed up by Fatiem with 2 items. The True Shot Barrage comes through. iBoy does take a chunk, so that's a start, but that's almost 4 items Sivir, who can still pierce through the waves. There was a mid lane turret taken down, or rather the bottom lane turret was taken down. Yes, mid lane almost taken down. Wave is going to crash in, and
here we go.
With Baron now getting engaged on. Holder does find the engagement. Not enough. The Yuumi dies on his way out. Holder goes down as well. EDG is so far ahead. Right now, I don't even think 100 seagulls with fish and chips in their bellies could attack this squad. EDG going for the inhibitor, and Clement with 2 members down in Baron. They can just look for the game. They flash forward. iBoy hits him once with a boomerang, and it doesn't come back. EDG nuke the backline. They swing through. They're looking for the second Nexus turret, and it's all on the back of people like Scout. They're looking good. They're looking strong. And in game 1, they get all the rewards on the fountain. They hit the Nexus one last time and sit Rogue Warriors in